All right, Anthony Hartwig here with a Crestview baseball player profile. I am joined by one of the best players in the Crestview program right now and is shining star, Ethan Feezle. Ethan, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Thank you for having me.
One of the things that Crestview fans know is that when you're on the mound, good things usually happen. So the first question for you is, when you know you're starting and you're getting the ball on the mound, how do you kind of get yourself that mindset, and what kind of routine do you have on days when you know you're going to get the start?
I mean, you just gotta come out with the same mindset that today you're gonna win. I mean, you just gotta have the winning mentality whenever you got on the mound. I mean, as far as getting yourself ready, I mean, try to keep it pretty consistent whenever you're going through your routine. I mean, you don't want to change stuff up if it works.
Do routines for days when you're starting on the mound compared to days when you're not change, or are you getting ready the same way?
They change for sure. Usually, whenever it's starting on the mound, I kind of have my own thing I do. I'm kind of off to the side. I'm not really doing the same warm up as a team, but like on days where I'm just hitting, I'll probably be with the team going through the same warm up they do.
This is your last go around, right? So this is the last time you get to do everything. What's it been like dealing with the emotions of the last time you're putting on the Crestview uniform?
It's deep for sure. I mean, it's sad to I'm not say goodbye to baseball, but at the same time, done with like this level of competitive baseball, and especially playing for your school, moving on to college. I mean, it's sad, but at the same time, it's also exciting.
How much has the fact that it's your senior year and kind of the last chance made it a little bit more special for you, or made you kind of stop and reflect a little bit more than maybe you would your other 3 years?
It's definitely made it special. A lot more bonds with teammates this year. Stop taking everything for granted. Really wanting to enjoy the moments. Kind of loosens you up a little bit. Not worried about the stats as much, and then just going out there and playing with your team. Just having fun.
Do you also feel like, because it's your senior year and it's kind of your last chance, that the competitive juices are up a little bit?
Oh, for sure, for sure. I mean, you want every game you go out there on the field. You want to win. You want to you want to win league. You want to make a far in playoffs. A bunch of important things and goals that you want to set for yourself.
When you kind of think about the legacy that you want to leave on this program, what things come to mind?
Just, hard work ethic. I mean, don't come into practice and goof off, come in like you wanna win, and, just pride, play with pride. I mean, that's the one thing that I can leave for these younger classmen, that's what I wanna do. Just play with pride.
You've been a leader for this program for a while just because of the success you've been able to have, but senior year, it always feels like, even with the players that are established, that more leadership is put on their shoulders and there's a little bit more responsibility asked of them. How have you been able to handle that transition?
I felt like including last year, I've also been in a leadership role, so it was a little bit more of a transition being the senior for sure, and not having, like, we had 6 seniors last year, not having those other guys to help lead the team. I have, one of my good buddies, Booth, he helps me a lot. I mean, and it's especially whenever you have this much talent on a team, leading isn't very hard to do at all when everyone wants it just as bad as you do.
You've had some great leaders around you as well throughout your career. Who are some names that come to mind when you think of guys that showed you how to lead, and that you kind of lean on their experience, or their example when you're leading now?
2 big names would have to be Keith Berger and Carter Blakeman. Uh, Keith was the senior my freshman year, one of the best catchers that I've ever had the opportunity to play with. I mean, he just led us perfectly. And then Carter Blakeman, he was just a great leader. Taught me how to, handle diversity on the field, and at the same time taught me how to have fun. And he's just one of my best friends on that baseball team. It was just awesome having him.
Seniors are also judged by how they leave the program. You always want to leave it better than when you found it. That's the whole cliche. So if we brought on a leader next year, or someone that is going to be a leader next year, and we asked them the same question I just asked you, what did having Ethan Feezle on the team do for them? What would you hope their answer would be?
Just that, he played hard. He went out there whenever he was on the mound or whenever he was in the batter's box, and he gave it 100% every time, and that he would always do what had to be done to win. I mean, just simple as that.
Baseball, as you and every player that plays it knows, is not a sport that's always kind to you. You know, you're always going to have to deal with adversity, ups and downs of the sport, no matter how good you are. What are your kind of ways of dealing with the valleys, the hills and valleys of baseball?
As our coach always says, you just got to flush it. I mean, baseball is a sport of failure. If you go 3 for 10 in the majors, you're in the Hall of Fame. I mean, it's as simple as that. It's always going to be hard on you. You just got to be able to flush it and go to the next play because it's eventually going to happen again. And so
Have you always been able to easily do that, or did you have to kind of build that mentality where you're not gonna, linger on mistakes or things that you didn't do right? You're just gonna go to the next play. Have you always been able to be that player, or have you grown into it?
I've definitely grown into it. My first growing up, I was always in my head a lot. It really never clicked until I want to say I was like 15. Up until then, I was a big head case, but it comes with age, you know.
Right.
Yeah,
What
it
was
it just
what was the hardest like thing for you to get over? Was it like in the pitch on the pitching mound? Was it, maybe a walk, a hit, or maybe at the plate a strikeout? Like, what was the thing that really used to really get in your head a lot that doesn't anymore?
I would have to say definitely hitting and fielding. On the pitcher's mound, I didn't really get so in my head just because I knew hits would happen. I wasn't
Mhm.
always the best. I'm still not the best at all, but I always could never figure it out in the field, and whenever I got in my head, that would just put me down. I just couldn't get it back out. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's funny because usually it's the opposite. Usually the pitchers are the ones that have that stigma of being the head case, so it's fun that you're the opposite of that. So when you got through that, you matured and you got to this point now where you're at where mistakes don't really bother you or you don't let them linger. Was there a mentor or a coach that really hammered that home to you that and really broke through finally, or do you think it was just simply getting older and maturing?
I growing up, my dad coached me a lot, and then my also one of my uncles, my uncle Chris, he always told me to just gotta get out of your head, just gotta get out of your head. Like mistakes are gonna happen. And I mean, one of those years it just kind of finally sunk in, and I listened to him, and look where we got. Calmed me down a lot, and I don't compile errors anymore.
You know, um, Everyone knows how good you are at pitching. So my question to you is, when did you kind of fall in love with that aspect of the game? When did you start to really become a pitcher and work hard on that craft?
Since day one, I've always loved pitching. I just growing up, my arm never really could outshine a lot of people. So not until I really, started growing up, and I would say probably around Pony League is whenever we started to finally take it seriously. And I had a little bit of a wake up call my freshman year, and finally got some pitching lessons that after that. And after that, I just really fell in love with it. I just love pitching.
What's your favorite pitch to throw?
Uh, I throw a lot of fastballs, but I would probably say my curveball has always been my bread and butter. Really
When
like
you
that pitch.
think when you think of one that is maybe the hardest that you had to develop or the one that took you the most work to get to where it's at now, what pitch comes to mind in that aspect?
My slider. I could never really get it down. Not until recently have I really figured out how to work that in with my other two pitches and get it to work.
Now, as you know, this league you're in and the teams you play in high school, very talented. You have to face a lot of good hitters. Gonna try to put you on the spot a little bit, so I apologize. But who do you think is the hardest hitter that you've had to face in your pitching career?
Oof. Uh, Geddes or a champion guy, Tyler Skaggs, I want to say.
Mhm.
He was a hard out. He was always great. I mean, you just knew his name whenever you went to play champion. And then Eric Geddes too. He was a hard out too.
That works out because it's one guy that graduated already, and it's another guy that's currently playing. So it's a
Yeah.
good 1-2 punch with that answer. When you think of favorite memories on this team off the field, to build team chemistry. What are some of your favorite memories that you've compiled with these guys that go past baseball?
Wing nights. We've been having a lot of wing nights recently, and they're really fun. There's this, we go to the Eagles and New Waterford, and at the same time, we switch it up with B-dubs every once in a while. And it's just real fun to hang out with the guys and enjoy that.
Talk to me about the personality of this team and what it's like being in the dugout with these guys, and if you had to kind of describe the overall personality of the team, how would you do it?
A lot of energy. We got a lot of personality on the team, and if they'll probably enjoy me saying this, but they like to call ourselves blue collar. And just growing up in like kind of the country area of Crestview and New Waterford, it's they like to say that a lot.
Because you are in that country area, I think there's that chip on the shoulder that schools like you and some others that are in that area have, where maybe in the grand scheme of the state, people kind of look down on you. Do you kind of feel like anytime you're representing Crestview on the baseball field, you have that feeling where you kind of have to go and prove that Crestview's there to stay?
Oh, for sure. I mean, you go into a lot of these games, and I mean, I wouldn't say we look like a bunch of ball players, so we got to go out and show it on the field. For sure, especially whenever we play these city schools, they see us country bumpkins, but I mean, it's fun time either way.
What's your favorite part about the country life, though? Things obviously you wouldn't change, and obviously, like you just said, country bumpkins. What's your favorite part about that lifestyle?
Everyone just has a good time. I mean, we all love each other's company, and I mean, it's just always fun off the field too. I mean, the personalities, like I said, I mean, no one's boring on the team. Everyone, we all have love for each other, you know?
Uh, I want to give you the time to talk about your coaching staff too, because obviously Crestview has a coaching staff that is really well respected, and you've been able to grow with them over your career. So, what's it been like to be under the coaching staff that you have, and how much have they helped you grow?
Uh, Quick shout out to Coach Whitaker. He was our coach for the first 3 years. I loved him. He was great. But Coach Kibbe, now I had the opportunity to play with him back in 15U, so I knew what we were going to be in for whenever he came in. That he was going to bring that winning mentality, and then all the other coaches too. I mean, they just know so much about baseball, and it's such a great opportunity to be able to learn from them and play with them. It's just amazing.
Because it's your last year, of course, we can't let you go without talking about your future. We don't want to see you leave Crestview, but that is the nature of reality. You're going to
Yeah.
graduate, you're going to go off to do great things. What are some of your future goals, things that you want to accomplish when you graduate?
I'm not gonna play baseball, unfortunately, but I do want to focus on my future, and I'm gonna hopefully become a physical therapist in time. I'm gonna go over to YSU and study exercise science, and then go from there.
What made you interested in this career path of being a physical therapist?
Coming being a pitcher comes with injuries once in a while, so just being in that environment, the physical therapy environment, I just loved it. I loved seeing them work with other people and just the process. It was amazing.
It's never easy to make that decision to decide that you're not going to play the sport anymore. It had to be tough for you. You love it so much. What went into it? Why did that decision become the right thing for you?
I would probably say, I mean, I hate to say it, but money does play a big role, especially when it comes to something you love. YSU, I get to go for free and I get to enjoy, I get to commute. I mean, I get to save a lot of money. I mean, a lot of these colleges I get to go play for are, private schools and, cost quite a bit to go there, and not you don't get a lot of scholarships. So, I mean, that has to do with that. But at the same time, I'm kind of ready to move on with my life.
How will you still keep baseball as a part of your life and keep impacting the sport that you've poured so much time into?
I definitely plan on playing in some like adult league or something. I can't say bye to baseball. I want to play still, for sure. Especially if it's going to be something fun like that.
Can we see a coaching career in your future? Do you think we could have Coach Ethan Feezle, maybe a coach's corner down the line?
Maybe, never know. I mean, something I might pick up part time.
Do you think you'd make a good coach?
Ah, I'd have to learn for sure.
Like everything. Ethan, what do we do with these player profiles at the end is we give the player the chance to take the spotlight off themselves for a minute, shining on the people that are in their life that support them so much, and they wouldn't be where they are on the journey without. So I wanted to give you the time to just shine a light on the people that are in your corner, man, and give out as many thanks as you want to give.
I'd like to say thank you to my parents, my mom, my dad. They've been there through everything, buying me equipment, taking me to games. I couldn't have done without them. My grandparents, my brother, my sister-in-law, my girlfriend, some of my best friends too, and my teammates. My teammates, they've been through me. They've been with me through everything. I can't have enough thanks for everybody.
All right, Ethan, my man, we want to thank you so much for taking the time to join us. We appreciate it. We definitely root for you every time you're out there. Wish you the best of luck the rest of this year. We hope it lasts as long as possible, and we can't wait to talk to you again real soon.
Thank you.